We're the Dixie Chicks.
We're the Hot Country Night.
Hey, I'm Dylan Carmichael on TNN Radio. Number one for today's country.
TNNradio.com, number one for today's country. Thomas Ratton, 16, and Spencer Crandall joining us now on the air. Spencer, how are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Good. So, I just saw you on Facebook. You just got back from vacation. We have so much to talk about. What happened on the plane? Was it like, I'm interested to see, was there like a lot of Corona type stuff going on the plane, or?
You know, I posted about a trip that I took earlier in the year, so I have not been traveling actually.
Really? Okay.
But I did trick some people. I had a lot of people like, "Yo, you shouldn't be traveling." I was like, I know. I just had an extra picture
That's
from a
okay.
trip
Yeah,
that I wanted to
Jamaica.
post.
You were in Jamaica, and yeah.
I was. That was in January. So, you know, I've actually been just kicking it in Nashville. We've had all our shows canceled.
Okay.
I'm canceling all my writing sessions.
Yep.
I think it's just really important we all kind of band together right now and just stay inside and not do anything.
Yeah,
so,
I agree. I've been seeing all these things on Facebook about, stay inside and, social distancing. And what do you think about all that?
I think it's important. I think this thing's kind of scary. For me, I'm a young, healthy guy, and so it might not pose as much of a threat, but I think of people like my grandparents, or I think of somebody like my older brother who has really, really bad asthma or something like that. Like, I just don't know how those things work. And so as long as that exists, that, those people could be at risk, I think it's not too much to ask, especially for somebody like myself. Like, I don't need to go out to go to work, so I can work from home and I can do my part. And, but it's really tough because there are people out there who need to work. There's also people who need to go to work so that the rest of us can buy groceries or get toilet paper or get eggs. So it's really tricky. There's a lot of nuance to the conversation. I think it's an ongoing conversation. I think it's the start of a conversation. So giving each other grace and just listening and asking some big questions, and then also, acting upon it and doing the best that we can do to stay inside, stay away from each other, wash our hands, and just, I'm taking it as a chance to recharge, a chance to kind of lay low for a little bit, which for me is much needed. And
yeah.
Thank God I have the privilege that I can even do that. So I'm a lucky guy.
I can echo that too. We're talking to Spencer Crandall, and the whole the coronavirus thing. Definitely. Yeah. I was thinking before this whole thing started, I need some time to regroup. And then this kind of hit. I don't want to say it at the right time because it's never going to be the right time, but it just kind of came in at the right time. But we're talking to Spencer Crandall about his new single. It's My Person. It came out in October, actually, and the album last April. Is that right?
Yeah. I put out an album. It's called More, and I put that out last April, which feels crazy. That's almost a year. And then I put out another single, My Person, in the fall of last year, and that's, got kind of lucky and had some fun stuff happen with that. So we've been writing that out, and then some new music's coming soon. So it's all good things.
Well, can you tell us anything about the new music so far? Anything at all?
Yeah, of course. Well, one that we're working on, a lot of it, to be honest. Like, I'm such a creative guy, and I just pump out a lot of content. And so now we've kind of decided a cool way to package it. And I don't want to give too much away because I want to keep some of the secret sauce there. But
yeah, of course. Yeah.
I will say this. I am by far and away the most excited about music that I've ever been in my entire life, especially like the sonic branding. That's my dryer, if you heard that. The sonic branding of the project, I think the marketing, all these things that we kind of learned from the More album, and I learned about myself that I can kind of lean into more and be like, oh, this is really me. And so I just am like, I'm smiling talking about it because I'm just so excited. And we'll have new music coming out soon. So it's
all,
a little hint
it's all
for you,
coming together for this next album.
It really is, man. I feel like so lucky that I have fans that allow me to, I get to do music for a living, and I get to go play shows for a living. Yep. And through that process, I've really gathered a lot of data of what I love, what my fans love, where those two things meet.
Yep.
I think I'm really finally figured out, like, oh, this is my voice. This is how I want to say things. This is the instruments I want to use. It's so exciting. And we've been in the studio, and I'm kind of pinching myself because I'm like, oh, this thing I've always heard in my head is like coming to life, which is really hard to do. And it's so exciting. So I'm really excited for the next step.
We're talking to Spencer Crandall if you're just joining us on TNR Radio, and his single My Person we're going to hit up in a few seconds on the radio. But, I mean, I know you're big into Thomas Rhett, is just what I'm seeing online, but are there any other influences that, you know, contributed to your music and this album that's coming up? Who are your biggest influences in the world of music?
Yeah, I mean, Thomas Rhett's awesome. I think anybody who's a great storyteller, so I always reference Taylor Swift, Ed Sheeran, Thomas Rhett, Sam Hunt.
Yep.
I like to see the movie in my brain, and that's why I've always been attracted to country music. Like, I remember begging my parents to play Tim McGraw's Don't Take the Girl, because I had produced a full music video in my head in my car seat of like, okay, then this guy comes out and he's holding her at gunpoint. Like, you just see it, and it makes you feel something. And so I've always loved that. So I grew up listening to Kenny Chesney, Tim McGraw, like really awesome traditional country music.
Yeah.
And then I also, you know, I think I grew up in a time period that a lot of people did, which is having stuff like LimeWire and Napster. And I got exposed to a ton of music. I have an older brother who's a hip hop and EDM fiend. And so I just love how that music hits and some of the instruments and the palette that they can pull from. And I'm a massive Justin Timberlake fan. I'm a massive John Bellinger fan.
John Bellinger is amazing. Yeah. I was listening to his music earlier. It's just, I'm speechless when I listen to him.
In my opinion, the most underrated artist in the world, which might sound dramatic, but I'll be on record and say that. And so, yeah, those people like, and the music I like to make is, how do I take real country storytelling, talking about real life situations and stories using image-driven lyric and conversational lyrics, but have it hit using the same instruments, but played like John Bellinger would play them, play like JT would play an acoustic guitar. And that's always been the most interesting combination to me, and it's just what I'm drawn to. And, you know, thankfully those guys have kind of walked so I could run, if that's still a thing kids say these days. Yeah. And so I'm super lucky that it's also a time in country music where people are like, well, do whatever you want to do.
And that kind of leads me into
been chased out of town with pitchforks 10 years ago, but I'm glad it's the time it is.
That kind of leads me to the next question. I mean, I ask every person I interview these same few questions. What song are you most excited about on country radio right now?
Right this second?
Yeah. What would you have to say? I know I'm putting you really on the spot here, but one of those things that just comes right to mind, you know?
Let's go. Okay. Let's go to the wild or hot country playlist right now.
Yep.
Let's see what stands out to me.
I mean,
10,000 Hours is great.
Yeah.
And I just saw them at Bridgestone, so I have to give them mad props. That was an incredible show.
Yeah.
More Hearts Than Mine, Ingrid Andress, which she was also on that show.
Yep.
Like, that's the kind of songwriting that is just undeniably good. Like, it's just fantastic.
And I like those artists that just they really just come right out of nowhere. This hit the chart with one big song, and I mean, Ingrid Andress is right now. She's in the top 10.
It's incredible.
It's incredible.
Yeah, good for her. And you just love to see, you know, women killing it in country music because we need more of it. And I love Marin's 2-week #1. I hope that's like a start of something more that's leaning into that, because we have such talented women and females in our genre. So hopefully there's a lot more of that. Avenue Beat on Hot Country.
Okay.
They're sick.
Yep.
Check them out. They're like young girls, and they are fire. They're really cool.
I've heard a few of their songs. I mean, we're doing all the music over on the station today. I mean, we're taking our Corona time, and they are definitely in there. So all our listeners listening, Avenue Beat, they're coming up. We're going to have them here.
Yeah. That new Dustin Lynch, Lauren Elena song, Think About You.
Yep.
That's fire. And then, I mean, Phil Moore's my boy, and I love him, and he's got a lot of great new tunes out. You know, something like that.
Well, Spencer, we're going to get into your song, My Person, his latest single. Can you just give us a little bit of insight into how this all came about? I mean, how's the song doing?
Yeah, so wrote it probably like August or September last year, and I'm lucky enough to write with the guy that does my production. His name's Lalo Guzman. He's an animal. He's awesome, and we wrote this song with our other friend Kelly Archer, and it was just kind of that feeling in the room, like, what did we just do? Like, that's fantastic. Like, I love this so much. And he was kind of doing the demo as we were writing it, and we turned it around in like a week. And now I posted a little clip on my Instagram story, and I have never in my entire life gotten the response that I got that day. People just like, I need this on my phone now. So I was like, cool. Heard you. I'll put it out. So we did. It's been streamed over 5 million times as an independent artist. That's kind of cool. And
it's crazy.
Yeah. So no radio, none of that. And it's just like fan driven, which is really cool. And I'm so thankful for that. So if you've listened, thank you guys.
Well, let's change that no radio right now. We're going to get right into Spencer Crandall.
Let's go.
Let's go. Here's My Person, his latest single. Spencer, thank you so much for joining us on TNR Radio today.
Anytime.
I was looking for a long time. I never found nobody like you. I saw you order up on my tie. And suddenly I want to. Got your name, got your number, and we talked till they turned on the lights. I was looking for a long time. I didn't know that night I'd find my person, my heartbeat, my slow dance, my Sunday morning sipping on coffee in bed. My know when you know best friend, the stealer of my t-shirts, my reason for speeding home from work, my saving grace, my everything. I've never been more sure that you're my person. Even when you blow the punchline, nobody makes me laugh like you do. Every minute is a long time. If I ain't holding on to you, you're my staying on the weekend, you're my come undone. You're my call home saying it's more than love. Mama, she's the one. Yeah, you're my person, my heartbeat, my slow dance, my Sunday morning sipping on coffee in bed. My know when you know best friend, the stealer of my t-shirts, my reason for speeding home from work, my saving grace, my everything. I've never been more sure that you're my person. Look ahead up the road and you know I see you there. Rocking chair, little gray in your hair. Yeah, I'm still gonna stare, 'cause you're my person, my heartbeat, my slow dance, my Sunday morning sipping on coffee in bed. My know when you know best friend, the stealer of my t-shirt, my reason for speeding home from work, my saving grace, my everything. I've never been more sure